as the Badass Championship is on the line, as the #1 contender who won a tournament to get in this, folks, Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger himself, has earned the opportunity to challenge the current BA champion, Jackson R. Scott, the Prodigy. He has this kid won the title a while back, defeating his old nemesis Pennywise for the BA title, and he's been on a roll since. Already returned several challenges already. Can he do it again against Jason David Frank? Of course, Jason David Frank representing the Hollywood Fitness, member of that group. I'm sure they'd love to have some more gold in their stable, I guess. As Jason David Frank now, Dragon Leg Screw. This is a Cage of Hell rules match, which basically means basically beat your opponent until he can't get up. And that's basically plain and simple. What better way to prove that you are worthy to be the badass champion than beating down your opponent, being ultimate badass? And if you're wondering how this young man has been able to return adversary after adversary, it's because of his talent, his strength, his ability, and his, all honesty, he has some really great, I don't know, he's doing some big things, this kid. I'm just a loss for words, considering a lot of the times we've seen him, get involved in these matches, and a lot of people would be, quick to say, oh, there's no way this kid has a chance, but this kid has been able to return some, like I said, some big challenges. He's already defeated Pennywise, and then defeated him a second time when Pennywise tried to get his title back, which, of course, as you know what our rules are, is if you activate your rematch, once you get your rematch, if you're not successful, you go all the way back down the bottom of the pile, and the next guy comes up, which is why Jason David Frank is here. But there's also been, in between people, too. This kid's already defended the title against Deadpool. He's already defended against Jason Statham. And now he's defending against Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger. Oh, can't forget about Juggernaut. This kid beat Juggernaut. I mean, Juggernaut is a huge win for this kid. Juggernaut is a monster among men, if you would, and he is a dangerous guy as Juggernaut. And Jason David Frank doesn't care about what this kid's win-loss record is. He wants to get his first title here on Dream Masters. And Jackson gets up at an 8 count. He's got the intestinal fortitude, folks, let me tell you. This kid has no quit in him. Every time you think he's going to be down, he comes right back. Oh, and he misses a kick. But Jason David Frank did not miss his. Right to the back of the skull, and he might be out cold, folks. Will this be the first win for Jason David Frank, his first title here? I'm sure that, Jazz Fitness and Macaulay Culkin would love to have another guy in the stable to hold title. Bring a title back to their stable. As Jackson's up again. Uh-oh. Oh, my. Nice butterfly suplex by Jackson Robert Scott, the Prodigy. And now Jason David Frank is finding out how this kid had it before. And normally I would, I do my little disclaimer, I guess you'd say, in the beginning of our show several times over. Quite frankly, folks, if you watch our show regularly, you guys know basically how it works by now. None of us have any control over the outcomes of these matches. It's completely randomized. It's completely chosen by the system. I'm simply here to call the matches for you guys, like you guys, and what happens, happens. The only way to really find out who the better man is or who the better team is or whatever is just to have them brawl it out. And all honesty, I have no way of playing any of these because I'm not good at these types of games. So that's our disclaimer. I have already said it. Now it's our third match in, folks. Probably should have said it within the first match, but I feel like if you guys watch our show on a regular, you know what's up by now. And this you're watching right now, we're in the midst of our Father's Day Spectacular, folks. And a lot of dads out there who I've reached out to have said they would love to see, you know, all the titles on the line. So what we're going to do is just simply that. So basically every title we have on the line, every title we have will be on the line. Like you guys wanted. Happy Father's Day to all those dads out there. And remember, just because, and sometimes there's families out there that maybe the male figure in life isn't necessarily a blood father or whatever, but just remember, your family is that who takes care of you, who loves you unconditionally, and is there to make sure you're fed and you're safe. That is the job of the parental unit. And sometimes in some factions, sometimes it's a stepfather, sometimes it's a boyfriend, sometimes it's an older brother, sometimes it's a grandfather or an uncle. The dynamic changes case to case. But one thing doesn't change is the importance of it. I'm a proud father myself. As you know, this show, my son and I do normally together. He is right now finishing up his last bit of high school, for this season anyway. So he's getting ready for that and focusing on that. And then he'll be right back here on Dream Masters, folks, and we'll be doing these things all over again. And again, he helps with these cards, and he helps put the matches together. And as far as booking the talent and stuff like that, he also helps with that as well. So he does multiple things behind the scenes. Sometimes I have to call the matches. Sometimes we call them together. Sometimes we have guest people on the show. Regardless, one of the greatest joys is doing the show with my son to make sure making a completely different randomized thing and basically revolutionizing this type of entertainment. And I just want to take a moment just to go back to this match, and what a match it's been so far. Jason David Frank, every time he thinks he's down, the kid gets up, and he comes right back down strong, and now down again. Jason David Frank is feeling it, folks. He thinks he might win. I'm telling you, though, can't count out Jackson Robert Scott. Even still, I mean, even if he was to lose, he has nothing to be ashamed of, because he has proven that he deserves the title shot match. Oh, my. He has proved that he is just as tough as any of the people on the roster, as he has turned back multiple challenges, and he would get a rematch in general anyway. Nice reversal right there by Robert Jackson Scott, speaking of which, and now is Jason David Frank who finds himself down. And just a moment ago, folks, Jason David Frank was feeling pretty good, as you saw. Like so many people before him, I think they take this kid lightly. I don't know. Maybe they think they got a shoe-in, and that's you're going to be your downfall anytime whenever you misjudge or you underestimate your opponent, which is a dangerous thing to do in any combat status. As Jason David Frank is now the one on the ground. As you see, Jackson Robert is not posing, he's not dancing, he's focused and driven as he always is. He has come to play, folks. He's come here to stay, and he likes his title, he wants to keep it. As Frank has got himself up to the ropes. And Jackson Robert Scott now. What's he going to do here now? Foot right to the face. I think that's smart right there. Giving yourself, keep him close so that if he gets by, you can hit him right away, rather than giving him opportunity to, rest. We've seen time and time again some guys give the guy a break and whatever, and that could be the downfall. As Jason's up, and now he's up again. Oh, and Jason David Frank, what a move! Maybe playing a little pause, but then he's showboating again. I don't know how smart that is to showboat. He's still showboating, and Jackson's up. Down with a clothesline. And another one. And Jason David Frank is on fire. I really do think, though, Jason David Frank is really taking this kid lightly. You know, stopping to, you know, pose and, you know, wave to the crowd. You know, so it's one thing to be, you know, one with the fans and to show your appreciation. But when you're in a match like this and this important, you need to focus on your goal at hand. We might have a new champion. And we do, folks. My goodness. What craziness that was, folks. You see this action here. Jason David Frank stayed on top of me. He was cocky through the entire thing, though. Which, you know, I guess it worked out for him. Maybe he felt confident. Maybe that's the importance. Maybe you need to be confident. I mean, every time he thought he had him, you know, Jackson would come back. But this time, Jason David Frank has caught the young man on his... Maybe he's exhausted, the kid. Maybe. But even still, you know what? My hat's off to Jackson Robert Scott. He's done a hell of a job. Was a long-running champion for a while. He won the BA title back, you know, several months ago, and he's been the champion since.
Here is your winner.
Let's get the official word.
Male All-Star Ultra-Violent Hardcore Fighting World Champion, Pretty Boy Jason David Frank.
Wow. What an interesting turn of event, folks. All right. We've had 3 matches so far, folks, and all 3 matches have resulted in title changes. Wow. New champion again. And this time, Jason David Frank and the Hollywood Fitness brings another title to their stable. Stick around, folks. More action coming your way.